How's everyone doing? Kathy, Marianne, Carmen. I saw Dana there. How you doing, Dana?
Celine.
Who?
Celine.
Oh, Celine. The way she said Celine. Celine. Hey, Deb. And I'm drinking my
Kevin.
My poo, my drink that I drinking, my new pooperoo.
Your pooperoo.
Yeah, what was it that you referred to it as?
I said Propel. And it's he's teasing me because I said you should drink Gatorade. The Propel. It's not.
It's Gatorade.
It's Powerade, sugarless. You know what?
I'm gonna get you some.
Just drink
Propel.
it and be quiet.
I'm like, you're gonna give me some what now? The drink Propel.
It's hot
Deb.
there, huh?
How are you? Good evening, Christopher. How are you doing? Happy Monday to everyone. We are recovered from a very long night. Saturday. Long day, I should say. Long day into the night. Saturday, where we didn't get home till
4:30.
Very late. Yeah, 4:30. That was a long, long night.
Brutal.
Slept all day Sunday. Hello, Richard. How are you? The event with Steve Gonsalves. I want to make sure I don't butcher his name. First one we've done ever with Steve. Steve has been at the expo. Oof.
Quite a few years.
Yeah, quite a few years now. Never got to do an event with him. Karen, how are you? I got to tell you. Hey, Christina. Hey. I got to tell you that Steve is a lot funnier than I thought he was. We were talking about that kind of on the way home. Even the next day, Steve's a low-key guy. He's very low-key. He talks in a low voice, very matter-of-fact.
Hey, Karen.
And he tells a story, and he talks to things, and he talks about things that have happened. But Steve can be really funny, and I was surprised to no, that wasn't Steve wasn't there. That was Cody Satori.
Yeah.
So hey Jeff. So I was pleasantly surprised, see Nicole, that he was as funny as he was. And
quite the comedian.
Yeah, he you know, he's used to doing events a different type of way, and I think a lot of people are, before they come do events with us, they do events either on their own or they do events with other people, and they're kind of the first time with us. I think they're surprised at the way we do things and how organized we are and the way we tailor the event. And for him, we were talking outside before when he first arrived, and he's like, well, how is this going to go? What are you going to do? And we were talking about, the number of people, and I told him right off the bat.
Hey, Nancy.
Yes, Nancy and Jonathan, we got to thank you for the food, for the pizza.
So we've been really sick, and I have not recovered and bounced back like John has. And Nancy and Jonathan sent us food yesterday, which was absolutely the sweetest thing. Completely.
Nancy, literally, I get this strange text. The pizza man's out your front door, and I'm like,
what?
Who's this psycho sending me a text about a pizza man? And I look out my front door, and there's a guy with
our doorbells don't ring on
head.
the apartment buildings at all. So
and he's holding a pizza in the bag, and I'm like,
hey, Brian.
Wow, okay.
But I have to say, Nancy, the funny thing is that I literally dragged myself out of my chair, and I said to John, because I haven't had no appetite at all. And I said to him, what do you want for lunch? And he's like, I don't know. I think I'm just going to have a sandwich. I'm just like, I don't know. And then all of a sudden he says, what is Nancy doing texting me about some pizza man outside the door?
About.
And she was nice enough knowing that I can't eat the pizza.
I thought it was
she got me salad.
I thought it was like a fake
you
thing.
Did.
But anybody else wants to send us food, I'll put up a few menus on the screen during the week. I'll put a few menus up. So, you get
hey, Patricia.
I'm a big like subs, turkey, pepperoni and provolone, strombolis, big on strombolis, pizza, cheesesteaks, everything that a 12-year-old eats. That's what I eat. So pretty easy. Hey, Laura, how are you? So, Patricia, So again, talk to Steve outside about how the event was going to go and how many people.
Big cookies.
I know those too. And here's the thing: when it comes to New Jersey paranormal events,
Hey, Debbie.
we are always going to be as fair as humanly possible on the price of the event. There are some out there who charge what we charge to be with Steve, to be with them for 4 or 5 hours, and Steve is a big deal, in the paranormal world. But we always try to keep it as affordable as we can, and we don't want to overcrowd it. We could have sold, no lie, no, and I kid you not, we could have sold 70, 80 tickets to that event.
Yeah, but that was
no
the point.
problem. No, I still had emails the weekend of. I was getting emails saying, "Hey, our tickets available." I could have packed people on top of people if I wanted to. I really could have. If we were in this for the money, where we were going to take our portion, and Steve was going to get an appearance fee, and the mine, of course, gets their donation. We could have cleaned up. We really could if we wanted to, but
it's not what it's about.
You don't do that if you can help it. And my opinion is, be as fair as you can on the price, but also don't make it so crowded to where people are on top of each other and you're not really investigating. It's just one big 200-person hangout. And I'm not putting down anybody else who does events with celebrities.
Not at all.
I'm just telling you the way we do events. I am the guy who pays for the money, who pays the money for tickets. I always put myself in that position. What if me, who lives paycheck to paycheck, wanted to go do an event with Zach Baggins, and would I be happy paying $200 and be with 150 people and Zach? Would that be good enough for me? I don't know. I really don't. Maybe just having the ability to meet him and hang out with him and take a picture.
But I think the surprise is too is that there wasn't just hanging out. There was real.
But that's what we do on top of.
We investigate.
It could just be the meet and greet and talking and lecturing and pictures. That's could be a part of it, sure. I mean, but we try to give people so much more than that. That even if they don't know who New Jersey Paranormal is, hopefully by the time they left that night, they knew who we are and what we do, and they had a good time. Because that's what happened with Adam too. Like when we did events with Adam Berry, I mean, those people who didn't know us were surprised. They were like, "Holy crap!"
Yeah, we're good friends with Travis and God, her name escapes my brain, and I see her face. Sorry, it's just my brain lately. But they've become good friends of ours.
They're so good friends that you forgot her name.
Yeah, I got that. I still got that brain. Not feeling. It's not clear yet. It's cloudy.
Well, I'm going to check my Propapoo right now and take my.
Propel you. Oh Lord, help me with this man, somebody. But anyways, John says about the humor and stuff, and I'm going to tell you, and I was completely blown away by it, but it was funny. We do this thing of in the mine, and Steve. I know, because you're going to tell your part, so I'm just going to do this real quick because it was funny.
You don't know how to weave a tale.
No, I don't.
That's not your strong point.
No, it's
at
not.
all.
I'm not a storyteller.
You're really not.
You
really literally go from page 1 to page 50, and skip
your mind,
everything.
Your story.
No, I try to set the table. And make sure people know.
Is there a dish at the table for me?
If there was, you'd be like, forget the dish and how it got here. There was meat on it. Somebody ate it, and end of story. The end. That's you telling a story. I try to weave a tale and tell people.
Weaving a tale?
Well, well, no, they're not even the facts, Kevin.
That's right, Kevin.
It's
Facts
really, it's
and the
not
facts
even,
on
it's
logic.
not even the facts.
It's logic.
She just wants to
Thank
get
you,
to a
Nat.
specific story that she wants to tell in a certain area, and yet there is an hour. There is an hour to talk here, and yet she wants to. Remember, again, I'm dating myself here as an older guy, but in the olden days we had the cassette recorders. You know, this is before CDs, DVDs, and MP3s, and all that good stuff. So in the old days, if you wanted to listen to, like, if you bought a cassette tape album, a rock album, if you don't like the first three songs, you would hold the fast forward button and it would go, and then you try to like release it to when you got to the song you wanted. That's what I deal with here. So again,
so I fast forward you.
Let me set the table again before
please do.
Before we get to, and then Steve got in his car and left.
I wasn't there yet.
So, like I said, want some propel?
No, I got my thing. I'm good.
But
hey, Christopher.
So again, when we have these types of events, we are very conscious of the idea of and considerate of the idea of how many people are going to be there, and are they going to get their money's worth, and are they going to at least be able to have a semi good investigation, not be 15, 20 people deep per group, you know. And I get it. For some people, and we discussed this, for some people, it's just great being around a guy like Steve and meeting him and taking a picture with him and having him there. I come from the school of, if you're, and there are people who come from either side. I come from the school of, if you're there for an investigation, and I know that there's been other events and other places where they literally 80, 90, 100 people in a building, and you know, some celebrities are just there walking around, popping in every now and then and whatever. But some people are happy with that, and that's what they want. But us, if you're with us, you're going to do a ghost hunt too, an investigation. You're going to do it. And you're not going to be mobbed with people on top of people. We're just not going to do it. We don't do it that way. So I try to be as fair as I can, again, to everybody involved. The only ones who we're not fair to is us. Because we're the only ones walking out of there without any money. I mean, you know, the appearance fee is paid. The mine is still happy with what the contribution, the donation. And again, they have people there supporting us, so it's not like they're not doing anything. But I wanted to be fair to the people who are there, the people that paid that money. I want them to walk out of there going, not only did I meet Steve, and I got my picture, and I got either bought a book or I got him to sign a book, and I got to talk to him for a few minutes during the meet and greet. Yeah. But I also got to investigate with him a little bit here and there and do some other stuff all around the place and experiments and just all around good experience. And it's the same for the expo, same thing. It's one fee to get in, but it involves so much that we try to give you for such a fair price. And again, it's me. And there are other people who may be happy just driving up an hour or two just for that meet and greet part. Yeah. Where they got to hear him tell his stories.
Carmen came all the way from Philly.
Yeah, and joke. And I get it, believe me, because I drove 3 hours to meet John Zaffis. She
came from upstate New York. She came from quite a drive.
But I drove 3 hours to meet John Zaffis just to buy a book and have him sign it and talk to him for 10 minutes.
Yeah, you did.
So that part I get. But for me, I will never overcrowd anything if I don't have to. I try to keep it a reasonable amount of people in a group so that there's still a good chance of a good experience beyond just Steve or a celebrity.
Yeah, quick wham bam picture. Hey, how you doing? Zip the next person. You're trying to make it where it's actually.
But I don't know if that matters to people. I really don't. I mean, I just tell you.
If it was, I was on the other side.
But others, like I said, others are okay with just him being there, and I get that too because Like I said, I there are people that I want to meet. Eddie Vedder. If I drove 3 hours and Eddie was just up there talking about different songs and different things, and I got to watch and hang out with him for 30, 40 minutes and just BS with him about whatever, hey, happy as can be.
But what a bonus would it be if you actually got to sit on stage and he's singing a song and strumming a guitar
To me,
and you're in
singing to me.
Yeah, well, hey, if that's what you want. But doesn't that even add to it? Isn't that like a cherry on top?
Again, I just believe in trying to give people. It's not just a Steve Gonsalves event. It's a New Jersey Paranormal event with Steve as a special guest. So you get all the New Jersey Paranormal stuff, and Steve is there as a guest, or Kalani, or whoever, you know. So that just kind of explains that. So the meet and greet was fun. He, like I said, he's got a lot of great stories, a lot of funny stories, and he cusses a little more than I thought he would. That's what surprised me about him and Amy Allen. Amy Allen cusses like a truck driver, man. I again, we went out to Arizona to film an episode of the Dead Files that we got on the cutting room floor, but I got to have the headset on when she did the entire walkthrough and they filmed it, and it was F, S, F, S, F, and I was like, and I'm looking, I'm supposed to be taking notes of like what she's saying in the different areas, and I kept looking over at the guy whose job is to edit, and he's looking at the monitor and listening as well, and he just would look over at me and go. And went, yeah, but Steve, he cusses a little bit. He was telling so. And what I like about Steve is another thing. Steve's so down to earth. He's so approachable. He's a caring guy. He's, you know what I mean. He's just a good guy. But he told the story about something and somewhere, and he talked to how this guy was mean to a cat or something.
I don't know. I couldn't hear any of that.
Oh, he was like, I want to choke that guy for shutting the door on that cat, or I think he kicked the cat or something.
Oh. And
Steve was like, I wanted to shut that guy so bad. It was just a human, you know. No, but even the police officer thing too. We were talking about that too. As Chris and I were walking through the mine, we're like, you know, Steve is such a low key guy, and even I mentioned that to him. I'm like, I said, Chris and I were talking before you were here about every time we've ever met you and how low key you are. And he always gives a big hug, and he always listens and nods and talks really low. He's a low speaking guy. I said, how are you a police officer? How did you? He said, well, you're trained. There's a time to be that way, and then there's a time to not be that way when you're not on the job. He said, so it's just natural. Yeah, it was somebody kicked the cat. I knew that's what I heard. And he did. He wasn't happy about that. But again, the stories were great. People were laughing. People enjoyed that meet and greet. It went by, and it seemed like it was going to be a long time for that meet and greet to be 2 hours.
Yeah, it was fast.
But it went by so fast.
It went by way too fast.
Yeah, I mean, I was really, really surprised.
Very engaging. A really good speaker.
Oh yeah, very
entertaining. And just, you know, one thing after another, just like boom, 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 and you could tell everybody was engaged and he was very personable. He was very with each person.
I got a funny story, and I told Chris the story. We went to the movies today to see Deadpool, which was awful, by the way. But anyway, we go to the movies, and I was telling her she was wearing my hoodie because
it was cold.
It was very cold in the theater. It was my Zach Baggins hoodie, and I had left that hoodie. I mean, think back to when it was colder, which was March, probably when we were there. That we would have needed a jacket. April. I had left it. It's been there since, and I found it like underneath a chair, and I picked it up, and I was like, "Oh crap, this is mine," you know, and when Steve came into my group as a joke, I said to him, I have something to show you. And it's just hoodie, but it's got a picture of Zach Baggins on it with like a funny saying about him being possessed. And I showed it to Steve without knowing that there was a giant bug that because it was on the floor forever. And a giant, and he went, "This is exactly what he did." He's like, "Oh, did you do that on purpose to me?" And I
You're
said,
like, what?
and I turned it around to me, and I'm looking at Zach. I'm like, "It's a joke. It's Zach Baggy." He goes, "No, there's a giant spider on that thing," and I'm like I had no idea there was a giant spider on that thing. It was like he really was afraid of that thing. He jumped.
He's terrified of those.
Yet he was in a mine. That's what I kept telling him. I'm like, boy, are you in the wrong place?
No, we had a bat nosedive us a few times in the mine.
Yeah. Oh.
And then I had to get a bat out of, because the area where he was with Danielle, a bat had come into a portion where they wanted to, and it's a very small area. So while they were somewhere else, I went in and I got the bat out through and removed it. I didn't kill it. I don't kill bats. That's not me. Those are endangered, protected bats too. But it was harmless. It was just a matter of guiding it to go out to where the opening was, and they were all figuring, "There's a bat, there's a bat," and I'm like, "It's not gonna bother you."
I don't like bats.
They don't bother me at all. And then there was one that kept flying in the mine. That was that, like, you know,
we haven't seen
over by the spring. It's that time. Plus the doors were open.
Oh yeah. Oh, they were repairing them.
Yeah.
Bats scared the heck out of me. Yeah, I mean, I don't.
Yeah, bats don't bother me at all. And again, they won't bother you. They're just they're you know, it's their navigation system. And when you're all there in the vibration and the heat of you, that they're sonars, you know. It came at you Saturday too, huh? Woo woo.
Yeah, I don't like bats.
I picked one up off of the mine floor.
They freak me out because I always think, like, I always start to get stuck in your hair and stuff, and that's what freaks me out. I don't be fighting a bat.
Those things are great for eating bugs and mosquitoes and.
Yes, and crocodiles are great for eating things as well. I mean, I'm going to go swim with them. Anyway, so the night there was supposed to be rain. We got real lucky because it rained on the way up there, and the weather was calling for rain pretty much the whole night. 50%, 60%, and we got lucky because we're moving people around, constantly. So, when people are going outside, it was great, but we didn't have that. It was drizzling. So it went by really fast. I kept telling Steve, I said, you're going to be surprised, because he's like, well, how do you do this? How do you guys work your events? And I told him, I said, you're going to be really surprised on how quick this is going to go. I said, you're going to do your 2-hour, meet and talk and lecture and book signing and all that stuff. I said, but once we get into the quote unquote ghost hunting part, you're going to be surprised. It went by so quick for him that he was actually at the end going, hey, are we all going to get together again and like do a good night?
Yeah.
And it's after midnight, man. We're spent. We got there at 3:00, so we're like, no, man, we're off the clock, dude. But he didn't. He didn't want to leave right away. He wanted to bring everybody else in and just wrap it up and say goodnight. And some people have a long drive home, so they head out. But a lot of people came back into the room again, and he thanked everyone. Let everybody take some more pictures.
He was very gracious. He was really gracious to everybody. He wanted to talk more.
I think he did. I think he was having a good time, and I thanked him. And he said he had a great time, and he said he would do it again. So, I mean, of course, next year, we'll have him either come back there or come somewhere else. I mean, again, it was a good time.
Yeah.
You never know with people, because we've investigated with other TV people before, and some are really good, some are just kind of there.
We did find out that he's really a proponent for, he likes experiments.
Yeah, he that's one thing that really interested him, that all the different things we try. So I think that I think that was kind of for him like something different, that we throw everything at the wall to see what sticks, let me know. I'll sign up if he comes back. I can't read what was up above. What was that one? Are you guys doing anything this weekend? There'll be lots of rain. We're probably going away this weekend. So we're not gonna.
Yeah, we haven't had a chance to celebrate this.
Yeah, we're not gonna do any ghost hunting. Although who knows? That could happen. I can't say that won't happen.
Well, you never know with you.
But the people that we're going to be with, it ain't me. You think I'm the only one part of that group who's not going to want to do something?
We'll see. But if you do, maybe you'll do a little bit of live.
Yeah, I mean, we put the wigs on and did the live the last time. Well, we're supposed to get together with Pam and Steve and Bob and Gina and.
Gina's on. Gina's now
we're supposed to go to the Hoover House
with the wigs, aren't you, Gina?
last time it got a little weird. It's a little weird when we get together because we're all not so normal, paranormal people, so you never know. And they've got this really, besides the Hoover House being active, Pam and Steve have this other historic, beautiful mansion that's across the street from them.
Oh
my God, this thing is like from a movie. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
So I'm dying to get in there because that attic gave me the wills.
I am going to say this for the people that are coming to the Hoover House on
the Jubilation.
In December. We did have the offer where one night we could do the investigation at the Hoover House and the next night we could do it at that mansion. That was an offer on the table. So we'll pin that down. Because I would love to do an investigation there. I
don't know what that means, Kevin. Definitely going to be a movement in the atmosphere.
Yeah, because we're all going to get together.
Oh, you mean when the Illuminati?
Who wants to be normal?
When the Illuminati comes together, you think there'll be...
So can I tell you what happened with Steve that was funny yet?
We are at the point now, yes.
The table is set?
At 29 minutes, yes. Instead of 2.9 seconds where the story is appropriate.
So... He is in this tent all by himself on this one section of the mine. And one of our team members gave him the recorder to ask questions or do whatever. And then, to see if the spirits would come up to him and whatever. And as we go back and she takes the recorder and she's playing it back, you hear a noise. And then you hear Steve said, he tagged it saying, "I farted." And then when it played back on the recorder, he goes, "Yeah, I was holding that in for like 20 minutes." And we're all just like dying. Like
we don't do
it
that.
was so, the way he said it was like, yeah, I held it in for 20 minutes and, that was the perfect spot. But the recorder picked it all up.
He thought he was by himself and it was a nice private moment.
You just heard this.
He figured the methane gas in the mine.
So we have it on recorder of Steve.
Speaking of having on recorder, I am going to find that recorder that I used and I'm going to play that EVP because I got a message from, I had a funny thing with Steve too. We're doing an EVP session and it was the end of the night. It was the last group. And it's kind of hard to keep him in sync when you're getting the end of the night and everybody's getting a little silly. And we're trying to do an EVP session. I think Kathy might have been in that group. And we're trying to ask questions. And Maritza and Sean. And Sean was right next to Steve. Yeah, so Kathy was in that group. And Steve asked the question. And Steve's, like I said, he's always the same. I don't know how to describe it. I don't want to say monotone, but his delivery, that's what I should say. His delivery is always the same. If you listen to him speak, his delivery is a constant.
Yeah.
It's like the voice doesn't really go up or down much. His delivery is really unique. And he asked a question regarding the room and blah, 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 and the hatch that we had open in the basement. And Sean next to him goes, "Skip." And Steve goes, "What did you say?" And again, I have the recorder running. And he's like, So Steve starts laughing. He goes, "Did you say skip?" And Sean's like, Sean.
Yeah, because
Sean's like, he's like shaking his head like he was embarrassed. And Steve goes, "This isn't a game show. You can't pass. You don't skip." So we're all laughing. So then we get to this other, we're laughing and we're trying to get back to asking the question. Then we get to this other woman. I think her name was Rachel, who was at the end of the line. And we get to her and I'm like, I point the microphone at her. She's like, it seems like you've only had 20 minutes to think of a question. Because all of a sudden we kind of keep stopping and we're going and stopping and going. And again, then everybody started laughing again. And I'm like, suddenly
Christina, yeah.
I'm like,
and Christina's new to this.
I'm like, suddenly I'm the adult in the room. I'm like, if that's the truth, we're in big trouble if I've become the only adult in the room.
He was filling his oats at the end.
It was, and he was having fun. But I will say this, and Kathy, you were there for this. Mr. Zaffis was with us a month ago, whatever it was. He claims that he picked up on the fact that the mafia dropped bodies off at the mine. Now, there's no proof of this whatsoever. Nothing. John seemed to have picked up on that. So as soon as we opened up the hatch in the basement, which is dug out, and it's creepy down there. I wouldn't go down there. John said something down there. There were bodies dropped here. As soon as I opened up that hatch, he said, "I got a weird feeling." So you didn't take the mafia thing, but we just asked, "Is there somebody down there?" And I got words like blessing, purgatory. I got really weird stuff coming out of that particular area. So 2 really weird things happened that I will never forget. And this is what I love about doing this, because it wasn't just me. There were other people. And
you just found this
the hatch. Tyler showed it to me a couple of times ago. But anyway, I said, now we're gonna have somebody coming later, Nikki, that's gonna have. I swear, I said that we're gonna have somebody. I said this out loud. We're gonna have someone coming later who has holy water, and well, maybe we could do some kind of blessing if you do feel like you're trapped and this is purgatory, and so we could say a prayer. We could put some holy water down there, and I said that, and then I said, okay, now we're gonna do an EVP session. We start the EVP session. I'm about 3 questions in when the app says holy water. What are the odds? And the people that were in that group.
Did she have holy water? Did you bring it up or no? All right, I'm sorry.
Did anybody else hear the brakes? Just literally.
Screech? Yeah, because that just popped in my head. I wasn't there. I want to know. But finish what you're saying.
So as I'm going with the story, before jumping ahead to page 10, literally, it is like climbing barefoot with none of those things
and then they push you
that you can stick to keep you on the mountain,
so get back
and
to
then sliding back down, and then trying to climb back to where you were. This is
so okay.
I'm sorry. Can I?
I want you to.
Oh, thank you. So everybody in the group heard what it said, and I said, I stopped the EVP session, and I'm like, I have to stop it because everybody heard what that just said, clear as day. So I said again, you want to talk about intelligent, non-intelligent, can spirit manipulate things here and there, different objects, apps, ovuluses, whatever, millimeters, whatever, spirit boxes. The odds of me literally saying that, and then within 30 seconds, that app saying holy water, you have better odds of winning the lottery. Honestly, you really do.
That's
you really,
bizarre.
really do. And everybody, I was like, we were all there for that moment. And I'm like, you don't know how cool this is for not just for me to hear this, but we all witnessed what it said.
Yeah.
So then we get to the page that you were on, where, am I boring you? I'm sorry, let me keep you up. Oh, I'm getting there. We get to where Nikki is finally there, and she does. She got a little.
So she had it.
Little bottle, and it's got one of those pop open tops, like hand sanitizer things, and it's got the cross on it, and it says holy water and something else on the thing. Kathy was in that group, and I said, no, unfortunately for me, Steve was in that group, and this is where the comedy ensued. But I really, really was curious. But we were doing it. We did the holy water. Kathy said a prayer. During the EVP session, there was a voice. And again, I have it on the recorder. I'm going to download it. And a few people heard it. I don't, Kathy, I don't know if you heard it, but I let a few people listen to it, including Nikki and Joy and Kathy. And somebody else, who was it that was down there? And again, this is in between all this muckety muck with Steve and everybody laughing. There was a voice that said, there's a demon down there. And I'll play the EVP. I have to find the recorder. I'm gonna have
and that said that after you did the prayer and the holy water.
And it said it during the funny, everybody joking EVP session. So everybody was like, that heard it was like, whoa. Again, after the purgatory, blessing, holy water. So then I get a text from the director, Bill, today saying, hope everything went well. We left a few pieces of equipment there. He said, by the way, I hear there's a demon under the hatch. And I'm like, so I said, Bill, a lot of things come up. A lot of people say things. I said, you never know who's saying what and for whatever reason. But I swear both of those things happened, and it was cool.
So do you think
as hell
the prayer and the holy water instigated a comment like that?
About the demon? I don't think it's mafia related. I really don't. I mean, I know John said what he said. I do think there's somebody in that area who, of all the years that I've been there, I've gathered that this person, in my opinion, feels responsible for something that happened. Like they caused something that I think got people killed. That's the impression that and this person hasn't been able to resolve that within themselves to even think about crossing over, moving on, and that they feel
because it hasn't been
like
revealed.
they what they're getting they deserve by being still there, stuck there, around there. That's honestly my opinion.
Okay. You're in that space more than anybody that I know when it comes to But
first time ever upstairs, we had female voices. I've never gotten female voices up there. And somebody asked the question, what was it like working here? A female said it was like being in prison. Tyler heard that one. And Tyler said, well, they lived in the row houses right over there. He said maybe that's what she heard repeated from her husband every day he came home from work. It's like being in prison working there.
Working on the chain gang, Taylor. Right? Hey, Taylor. Right?
But again, this is on top of Steve being there. That place is an interesting place. You never know what's going to happen.
We had a guy, the last group in the mine with Colleen and I, we did an EVP session. We moved a couple of places. And the further that we got closer to the spring, further into the mine, and a gentleman, Steve, was in the group, and it was all women other than him. And we did an experiment with the way we were doing the questions, and he asked him his nickname or whatever, and a male voice goes, Steve. And he couldn't hear it at first, so we changed the angle of the speaker, and I think it freaked him out when he heard it. And then at the end, we were listening again, and it said his name again. And then something else came out in the middle of that I don't remember, but we got another EVP that was said that was pretty cool. But who was in the bathroom?
God, I love Deb. Deb always reminds me of the funny stuff if I forget.
Uh-oh.
Again, Deb is, I love Deb. I've known Deb forever and a day now. And she is definitely family, the New Jersey Paranormal family, for sure. We're doing what we're doing. And that was the Steve group. Yeah, because Kathy's saying, yes, the bathroom. We're doing what we're doing. Steve's joking. Everybody's laughing. The whole entire time, I don't know if it's the whole entire time, but Deb is mapping somebody in the bathroom.
Get out.
And when we did the EVP session, she just blurts out, who's in the bathroom? And why would anybody ask that question?
Right.
That's holding an SLS. So she didn't get a response, but she did see
a figure,
somebody there. But again, it was great Steve was in there, but Steve was enjoying himself, but
that's right, Carmen. It got frustrated with us because we went around the group and we said that because it was all females except for one male, and everyone said, including Steve, that women are better.
Oh, that was at the kids. Yeah. Now I remember.
That women are better, and it went right down the line, and only one person in the group said, no, there's no way that, this is a tough job. You guys, I wouldn't be able to do this job. And then the very last person said, women are better because we're more organized and we can do it better. And you heard a male voice, like when you get frustrated with someone, go, ah. We all heard it as clear as day. And it was the perfect ending for the night for us in that group.
What did you hear, Deb? What did you hear? Because that was another thing.
I heard a.
They were saying that they kept hearing children on the recording, and Nikki and all them. They said, "Listen back. It's right there. It's right there." I couldn't hear it. They kept saying that there were kids, either laughing or talking, and so now I got to tell Bill that
the kids.
Yeah, that not only are there demons, but that those
kids,
black-eyed children, were probably down there too.
Oh my God.
But this is what I love about buildings, man. I love the unpredictability of it because you just don't know.
You don't
really
what you're gonna
don't know what's going to happen at any time, anywhere. And that's the fun of it. When those things were stacking up on each other, the blessing and the holy water and the purgatory and all that, man, that was somebody really trying to tell us a story and to tell us what,
And that's putting the puzzle pieces together, trying to figure out.
I'm gonna get that EVP.
What? There was another thing too. I was standing with Emily, and over by the where they simulate the dynamite blast. We were standing there with a grid up against the dark side, and she was standing with, we were standing side by side, but facing opposite directions. So nothing could walk up on either one of us in the dark because it's pitch dark. And we both heard at the same time a male voice say something like someone was working over by the dynamite. And I looked at her and she looked at me. And just as we're about to speak, we hear it again. And we both like, you heard what I just heard? And she pointed in the same direction that I heard it from. And we heard it live. And that's what's crazy about that place. You can hear things on fire. We didn't get the whistling. We didn't get the rushing.
Not always the same.
No, but we got something completely different.
You can't predict.
And somebody told us they felt like something was walking up to them in the tent we put them in. Played the recorder, and you could hear walking.
Just showed him a male voice say hello twice.
See?
So again, good night with Steve. I mean, I had a great time hanging out with him before, during, and after. I would definitely do it again, in a heartbeat if he wanted to. I'm hoping that we could, 1 or 2 times next year, have another event and do it in a couple of different places. But, and again, the people there, awesome group of people this time. It really was just, all the people there wanted to be there. They were there for Steve. They were there, but they all had such a great attitude. And, and even for people that, had a little harder time getting around, everybody was patient. Everybody, made sure everyone was taken care of and got to where they were going and was included. And I'm not a big dowsing rod guy. Everybody knows that about me. I'm not. I'm sorry. Dowsing rods, pendulums, they're just not my thing. They're just not. And my first group had two people that had, it's dark and I have issues with my eyes as it is. And I'm focusing on the people that are at the table in front of me on either side. And I'm thinking I'm seeing a blue light to my right. And I'm like, and then I looked and I see glow in the dark dowsing rods, blue ones, and I don't know, were they both blue or was one red?
No, he could change the colors.
Oh,
They were lights on them. They were light lasers.
So look, here's the deal. I am not going to deter you. I'm not going to tell you not to use them. I'm not going to tell you to not do your thing if that's your thing. You want to take out a pendulum and do that. You want to take out that. And these people they were very, very nice people. They're very, very into what they were doing. And, it seemed to be reacting in a way that they were asking questions and asking to point it. But again, I think they can be manipulated. That's me. And again, my opinion. But very, very nice people. And again, I let them participate and add to, and people were listening. And again, there are other people that are into that were kind of watching them and seeing what they were saying. And so I enjoy all of that. There's nothing wrong with experimentation of any kind. As long as you're being respectful and you're doing, you're not doing crazy stuff. There's nothing wrong with it. So if anybody wanted to take out dowsing rods and that's fine with me. But it's not something I do. And it's not something I would ever do within a group. I just wouldn't. Everything I've said that I don't like, I've tried. It's not like I haven't tried dowsing rods, Ouija boards, and pendulums. I have. I think they can all be manipulated. I do. I've seen it. So for me, no. But for others, I know they swear by them. And that's great. That's fine. Do your thing, man. Steve Barry is on here.
Hey, Steve. I hope you're feeling better because I know you were sick too.
Again, Steve, my brother.
Who got freaked out? Sean?
Freaked out, but he really did that time.
It was.
Hardly ever. But Steve Barry. Support the Battlefield Bash. Make plans to go next year. I know they're already booking rooms, hotel rooms for next.
Same thing here, Steve.
Next July. Book your rooms because that hotel is going to sell out fast, even based on the great time that everybody had this year.
Aspire is already completely sold out.
The Aspire is already sold out. In case you're wondering, it actually is called the Aspire.
No, it's Aspire.
Okay. But book your rooms now. You will not be disappointed. If you missed it this year, come next year. I can't promise that I'm going to propose every year, but if it sells tickets, Steve, we can work out a breakdown, of a percentage thing where I just,
don't begin this. Don't feed him, man.
I just propose every year. We could do that, but definitely make plans next July to be.
It's a great time
for sure. And make plans to be at the Hoover House in December. Again, I haven't pushed that a lot yet because we weren't feeling well for a little while. And then things get busy and things happen and there's so much on our plate. So, so there's a lot to take care of. But the Hoover House is the first weekend of December and half the tickets are already sold for that. The room's already booked for that weekend for anybody staying there. Tickets are still available. Steve, you need to get with Pam and get us that discount for Cobblestone so I can put that on the website and make a proper ad because we need to get that discount code so that people know we will not be getting married at the bash next year. That will not be. Somebody asked us that question this weekend if we were going to get married at the bash next year, and we were like, "Yeah, that's not going to happen."
What?
We are planning the wedding. It's just a matter of we don't know where or how.
Yeah, we've been sick, so we haven't even let it like planned out yet.
But again, the Hoover House, and before that, we announced Burlington Prison, our first time being back there this year. They're going to do another open house during the day where we'll be there at 12 o'clock. You can come tour the prison. I think it's free with a recommended donation. I have to check that. Last year was a $5 donation. Tour the prison. They'll let you bring gadgets. They didn't bother anybody last year that brought gadgets. So come during the day, hang out with us, tour the prison, and then there is the Ghost Hunt at night, which again is already halfway sold out. So if you want tickets for that, I'm going to be posting the video. Email NewJerseyParanormal@yahoo.com. It's New Jersey Paranormal, one word, @yahoo.com, and get tickets for that. And I'm sure that'll sell out once I put the ad out. And away we go. Oh my God, I want to do the prison. Tickets are still available. We sold half the tickets. Come on.
Yeah, I'll go stay over here.
I'm kidding you.
I know. Jesus. I can't help it though. It's
drink
like all of a sudden.
Propel.
I'm thinking so now.
But your tickets are half sold out on that. We literally just mentioned it on a live stream the last time, and we got a bunch of emails. So again, email New Jersey Paranormal. It's November 16th. Just say how many spots you want, and I'll send you the information. And the prison's going to be awesome. We haven't been there
since we did the open house for them.
In a year.
Yeah.
So it'd be cool to go back there. And I've been getting more articles from Janet about people who suicides and deaths, and a lot of people died there. And
I'd like to read those.
I enjoy doing that. So
does she have more information on the Boston Strangler, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to read that.
She has.
Yeah.
Very interesting. He was there for a little while.
He was. So that's my thing. My interest. You know?
Well, it looked like he died there. He wasn't hanged there.
No, he was not. I'm fascinated by that. That's all.
You're weird. You like that?
I might be weird.
We're talking about someone who had a serial killer party.
I did.
At one of our at the expo.
2. 1 women and 1 man.
Cool weather. That will be chilly. And that'll be fun. I love doing events when there's a little chill in the air and it gets dark early. That's fun for me. And we're doing 1 million library lectures this year, so I'll be rolling that out too. One of them is going to be in Trenton, Linden, Clark, and I know there's another one, but I can't remember where it is. So that's all going to be in October. And again, we're really, really on the fence about doing the mind ghost walks, just because it takes so much out of us, and we have to drive all the way back up there on Sundays. So we still got to figure out whether, because I got to start promoting that if that's something we're going to do. It's August.
It's hard.
The expo is in 3 months, people. 3.
It's hard to have those discussions when you're not feeling 100% to begin with. So your mindset is not like, if you were to ask me right now, no. Because physically, I'm just not there. And
you don't really have to do anything anyway.
Oh, Lord have
I
mercy.
do work.
You're so full of.
The expo is in 3 months, people. New Jersey Para Unity, number 10.
Yeah, we're doing one in Trenton.
Number 10. And that is not, the expo is not in Trenton. It's in Woodbridge, New Jersey. Is November 2nd and 3rd. So if you haven't got your tickets, get them online, or you can buy them at the door. But that is coming.
And real quick.
Quick.
There's specialty 10-year anniversary T-shirts and hoodies, but they're going to be very limited. It's not going to be a lot. And they're going to be very unique, just so you know.
I'm not part of that whole thing. That's a side venture for other people. But the expo, yes, we'll be here before you know it. I mean, we're getting into the nitty gritty of the heavy planning.
November 1st and 2nd.
This is when things get nuts. really, this is when things really start to get nuts and we get bogged down. This year we did the same thing as we did last year. We kind of worked ourselves into a schedule of just madness leading up to and after the expo. So, hooray for us. But, again, November 2nd and 3rd, Woodbridge High School, $25 for Saturday, $20 for Sunday. My birthday is the following week, so if you feel the need to start a pile of gifts for the Paranormal Savior, I'll put a sign up. You don't have to, you just leave them, maybe a table, like Italian weddings. The Italian weddings, they just have the tables where the envelopes are and the gifts, you just stack them up. We could do that for my birthday. I mean, it could be easy.
Stay calm. He'll be there to help. We're going to have to control the mob that coming to just meet the Paranormal Savior, Steve.
But that, again, come to the expo. If you're a New Jersey Paranormal follower, come to the expo. You will not be disappointed. You will not. You will have a great time. You'll get to meet a lot of cool people. You'll get to see all those celebrities, the lectures, and just have a good time that weekend.
Those exhibit rooms.
We're adding another exhibit room that I need to put together and present. And it's going to be different. It's going to be weird. So, we'll be adding another free exhibit room, which again is another big part of the expo. So we'll be doing a live about the expo probably, I don't know, either this week or next week. We got to get one. We got to get one in.
We do.
To update
I
everyone.
agree. Yeah,
we gotta start doing that again. We do that every year as part of what we do. So that's it, guys. We'll be back Wednesday night. I'm assuming there will be a creeper gallery this week because I had so much fun doing it last time with the
doll.
That doll was fun.
And you did a book. What else did you do?
I don't know, but that doll was fun.
Mm-hmm.
But if Chris isn't up for it, she takes off a lot now and bails out of a lot of New Jersey Paranormal related things, which just means more on these shoulders, right here. So, just to show you something.
Hey, fam.
To remind you all before we say goodnight, one thing.
Oh, Lord have mercy, guys! Watch out! Here comes trouble. I'm slowly getting better. It's just like this thing that just keep hanging on, and I'm getting like so frustrated. He bounced back up, and he's running and doing, and he can't understand why I can't keep up. Oh, Lord have mercy, help me, Father.
If you ever need proof, or if you're ever feeling down and losing your faith, and you just need a pick me up, I'm here to help.
And how is the cup going to help? Coffee?
So, just so you know, I'm a giver. I give. And then
Thank you.
It hurts, and then I give some more because I'm a giver.
Oh, help me. Help me.
That speech is so funny because if anybody, I love Bill Murray.
It should, John.
I love Bill Murray, and everybody and their mother has seen the movie Scrooged. I love that movie. Everybody watches that movie. He gets a humanitarian award, and he treats everybody like crap. And he's up there with the statue when they're giving him the award, and he says, people always ask me all the time, how do you give so much? You give and you give. He goes, and I do give. I give until it hurts. And then I give some more. And then he flicks the statue and goes, I'm going to cherish this forever. And he leaves it in the cab when he
goes away. He didn't care.
But only I mean it. I give.
Yes,
and
you give.
I give more.
And you give.
So
it's called headaches.
So remember, Remember who has one of these and who doesn't? Who's jelly? Who's the jelly one next to me?
I don't need my picture on a cup to know it's mine.
Who had to beg Kevin for her own action figure, but
oh Lord help me.
We should, because we never had a year U.S. injury seminar this weekend. What is this? Well, I couldn't see that whole entire question, but before we leave, I will. Do I have healing powers? John McGinnis, you of all people know that, what was that guy's name that we always talk to? What's his name? Lawrence Brock. Remember when he did this? And he said, what are you feeling now out there? Anything? Anything? John McGinnis, you know you're feeling it. You know you're feeling it. John McGinnis, Sally is calling.
Sally.
Anyway, somebody asked about cynics and skeptics. What is your response when they talk about how you never really capture anything, or you never really see anything, or you never really can prove anything, and all that kind of stuff. Here's the thing. Unless Elon Musk figures out a way with his Neuralink thing for people to plug into your brain to download personal experiences and things you've seen with your eyes
experiences
and heard, then no, you'll never be able to get tangible proof of anything that's going to show a skeptic and make them change their mind. But if that were possible, and I could show these people the full body apparitions that I've seen, the things that I've heard that I've seen move, the voices that I've heard, the responses that I've got, everything that all the years is in there, then they would be a believer. But some people you're never going to convince, and some people it's just their shtick. Some people it's just they're debunkers. It's what they do. They're never going to believe anything. But
that comes right out of 101 ghost hunting rules. If a person does not believe, she's a non-believer, so you can't heal me, Mr. Healer.
Why is Chris is a sympathy junkie, in case you didn't know that.
Yes.
She literally will get off this live and she'll run around here and she'll
do backflips.
There'll be nothing wrong with her.
Join the circus.
It's all an act. It's all an
run
act.
A marathon.
It's all an act.
100%.
It is. So, I mean, I'm sorry.
And then if I cough in the night,
he'll
smack me over the head with a pillow.
Oh, please. I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but it's all an act. Just for sympathy. So everyone thinks I'm the mean one and she's the nice one. But no, this is all an act.
They know I got steel.
This is our, again, back to Scrooge. This is Tiny Tim, going around and God bless us. God bless us, everyone. Bull crap.
Bull crap.
John, here, look.
Is that your Galaxy Rocks?
I'm doing them. Look. Tell me where the spirits are.
Point at yourself.
I'm going to get the glow in the dark ones though. They were different.
It had a battery pack on top.
Is that what they had? And
then it had a wire that goes down that you turn it on to turn the light on, and he could change it to blue or red. And then
why would that matter?
Because that's I don't know. Oh. And then it had the rings so that it would move. And then the metal that would go right down the center of it. So when you're holding it, and if you move your hand just a little, you're going to send it moving.
All I kept thinking was, we're like, talking to each other. Like, anybody see the lightsabers? And they're like, what? I'm like, the lightsabers. There were lightsabers going off But again, you want to use those and do whatever, man, to each his own. I would never stop anybody.
Now that would be cool, Patricia.
It'd be cool if they lit up, if a spirit touched them.
That would be cool if it just did something on its own without it, But it was just lit in the dark.
It looked cool. It did definitely look. I could imagine what they look like in the mine. They must look cool as hell in the mine.
I didn't see them in the mine when they were in there. I saw them when they did it in the Geo, and it looked pretty cool.
No, I would have, again, if I had them in the mine, I would have been doing the propeller. As I came down, that would have been cool.
You would have.
All right. Remember when you used to write your name with a flashlight?
Oh, and you would have done that in the air?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See?
You
I
would.
found a way to use it.
You would.
Anyway, that's it, guys. We'll be back on Wednesday. Like I said, potentially from the Creeper Gallery. Lots of dolls. Lots of things to do. I can't say for sure if the sick girl will be there, but trust in, have faith.
Coffee.
Have
Trust
faith
in
that
the coffee
yours truly will be there for
Christina.
you. Yours truly will be there for you. Wednesday night at 8 p.m.
Good night. Stay healthy. Be safe. And please remember to be kind to each other. It matters.
Holy water. No, I know where to get that.
Oh, he needs holy water.
That's,
right.
Again, Nikki carries, she does. It's a little flip top.
I love she does that.
Yeah. All right.
Good
Have
night,
a good night,
everyone.
guys.